Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into another TryHackMe loom. Compiled strings can only help you so far. As you know, as a pen tester, we often deal with binaries, sometimes benign, sometimes malicious. Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. So now, let's get started. Let's scroll down. I've already downloaded task files and transfer this task file to Kali Linux. So now, let's head over to Kali Linux to go on. As you know, when we analyze a binary or file, we will use two complementary approaches: static analysis. Static analysis. Static analysis means we will inspect binaries or files without running it. And also we need to utilize another approach, dynamic analysis. This simply means, as the name suggests, we will run and observe the behavior of the binary. I will show you both step by step so you can replicate this workflow. Okay, so now let's go back to the terminal window, and I've already got this target or task file ready. And first of all, we can run command file compile. This command can give us the basic information about the target file. Okay, and for example, you can see over here, ELF 64-bit Linux executable, and the architecture dynamically linked interpreter, blah blah blah, not stripped. Okay, so sometimes before we try to use any tool, we have to use a file command to get the basic information first. Okay, and the next command we often use is a string. And this command can help us extract printable characters or sequences from the file. And we can follow by the name of the file name of the file. Okay? And usually we can use this command to retrieve a very important information, such as password, the binary or executable or path, or even the URL. It depends. Okay, so this case we can scroll up a bit to see what we can get from this strings command. Try again, correct. As you can see, password. Do you even, this is the format the string, right? Even the Python has such a way to to accept or receive input by the user. Okay, so maybe the password is do you even and the CDF, I don't know. Maybe we can copy and paste over here. Before we try other tools, I'd like to run it to see what it's about, right? Compiled, permission denied. We didn't to make it executable, and then we can run it one more time, and we are required to supply password. For example, just now we have already got this string, so we can try with this string, but to try again. So this means the password is incorrect. It's not as easy as that. Okay, And the next command I'm going to show you is, which is also very important, hex dump. And we can use, this is the most frequently used option, uppercase C and followed by the name. This command can dump the file in the format of hex and ASCII. Okay, press hit enter, and let's scroll up a bit. Some ASCII information or printable characters or strings. Okay, correct. Similar to strings command, also we can get this kind of information. All right. And also when we deal with a file or especially binary, we need to use another command, md5 sum. And this can give us the md5 value, and then you can submit it to the site, for example, like a virus total, to see whether this is has been already identified malicious file like a virus, right? And the next command I'm going to show you, which is very, very important, is Ghidra. Press enter. And this tool is written in Java. This is a very powerful reverse engineering tool. Maybe not too sweet, with disassembler and decompiler. Okay, and this is because this GUI application, and it's very easy to use. So how to do? For example, we can like a code browser, we can import a file and select a file and select OK and click OK and double click the file to analyze. Yes, analyze. So let me make the window to be maximum. And usually we need to go to the main function. And as you can see, we can use Ghidra to decompile the binary and get the high level logic, even the source code, right? Although sometimes it's not 100% accurate. Okay, and we can copy this code and paste in here. But also sometimes, or very often, we need to use other types of tool to conduct dynamic analysis tools. For example, like GDB. I have already demonstrated this tool a lot of times. Usually when we try to perform buffer overflow attack, okay, and we can try to fit or input different payload or data and to see how the binary behaves, and then we can get the detailed data in the buffer, okay, and also how to make library calls, and we can get data in the memory, even can control the flow of the program of the binary. And also we can set breakpoints in the functions, in the main functions, and then we can make a step through the instructions to see, we can, in this way can make very detailed analysis, okay? And also we can get, the data in the registers, okay? But very often, we need to, so usually we will take the static way to make or to conduct static analysis. Then we can take the dynamic analysis approach to, to analyze the binary or the file. Okay, so come back. So up to now, I have already summarized the approaches to analyze any file. Okay, maybe not all of them, but I've already brought the major or the main tools. Okay, so now without sidetrack, we come to the source code we got from the Ghidra, right? And to to see how the program works. Okay. I think the first one just define the function, the main function, only one function in this binary. Okay, and this is actually this is the entry point. So why I just now I directly go to, first of all we go to the main function, because this is the entry point of the program. Okay, and let's go back to notebook and return return 0. So this is not useful. Okay, and then define the variable, and this the type for this variable is integer. Actually, this variable will store the result of this function string compare. Next, define the variable char, and this actually is the buffer, the stack buffer of 32 bytes used to store. I think used to store. Yes, you store the string. This one. The user will input information or data, and this data will be stored in this variable, and the size is up to 32 bytes. Okay, and the next line is just print a message password, and 10 bytes. Okay, here I think this is the major line of this source code, scan f. Actually here, this is, we can call it a format string, and instruct the scan function to receive data, or the string from the user. And I think this string must start from our inputted string, or user's input should start from this one, and then followed. This is the actual string we want to store to the variable local, and then followed by the string CTF. Okay. So again, this scanf function will read this part, and then save this part to this variable until white space or tab or new line. It does not stop at when we, for example, do this. Is very important, otherwise we cannot get this challenge done. For example, the user should first of all write this string, and then for example a password until the new line or space. If we here put the CTF in the end, this this format string %s is greedy to some extent. Is greedy, will read until the new line or the white space. I hope you have already got my point. And then do some string compare. If this variable, this one equals to this one, and then of course we will return the result, and this should be the integer, like 0. 0 means correct or matches, right? And also this one, will compare it to init. Oh, if equals to this string, this doesn't work. We'll print out the try again. But if the string, I mean our inputted string, equals to this one, and then we'll print out correct. Okay. So now I think I have already explained the workflow of this program. Now let's try it. Try to run it. Compiled. If you input this one, like do your event, and followed by this, we should, this should be the actual password we can copy. But if you put CTF in the end, the init and the CTF will be stored into the variable local, of course. And if this string doesn't equal to this one, so this doesn't work. Let me show you what I mean. We can copy, paste in here. It doesn't work. However, if you copy this part and hit enter, as you can see, it's correct. Okay. But what's the password? Yes, we have already copied. We can submit. It's correct. I think the major point of this challenge is scanf function and its corresponding format string. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you next. Bye. Have a nice day, please.